Today's Daily Caller. I feel like this is almost a daily update at this point, but taken from the Daily Caller. Big news hot off the press. Senate passes massive tax reform legislation. With 51 Republican votes, the Senate narrowly approved a massive bill early Saturday that would cut taxes for many Americans, nearly double the standard deduction, and dramatically reduce the corporate rate, all while adding more than $1 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. Senate Republicans passed the measure just hours after having to rewrite the legislation Friday evening, providing them with their first major legislation win of the year. Refraining from interjecting my own commentary at this point. GOP lawmakers scrambled to revise their bill after the parliamentarian ruled the deficit trigger, a necessary component to sway key lawmakers to get on board with the bill, didn't comply with the Byrd rule Thursday evening. Despite the last-minute challenge, Republicans managed to come to an agreement Friday that placated enough members to bring the bill to the floor. It was extended conversations that went on into the late hours of the night and continued early in the morning. Texas Senator Ted Cruz said of the negotiations Friday, ahead of the vote, adding he believes the legislation made, quote, significant improvements. Democrats blasted Republicans for their hurried approach, unsuccessfully attempting to pass an amendment forcing their GOP colleagues to push back the vote to allow for additional time to review the changes to the bill. I remember a few years back when my Republican colleagues gleefully scolded us to read the bill because of the Affordable Care Act was a lengthy piece of legislation, and that bill was available for days before anyone had to vote on it. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a statement. With this stunning deception, with this reckless ramrodding of a bill, Republicans are reaching heretofore unreached heights of hypocrisy. Gosh. And the Senate is descending to a new low of chicanery. Read the bill. They're still writing it by hand, mere hours before voting on it. Prior to voting on proposed amendments to the bill by members from both sides of the aisle, Schumer mentioned to adjourn until Monday afternoon, but the motion was summarily shot down along the party lines. Tennessee Republican Senator Barb Corker was the sole Republican to defect from his party, voting with Democrats against the measure. Shocker, not. Key members of the conference helped bring the bill over the finish line when Arizona Senator John McCain, Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, and Maine Senator Susan Collins announced their support at the end of the week. I guess John McCain's brain cancer isn't acting up at the moment. All three Republicans previously voted against the repeal and replace of the Affordable Care Act back in September. The bill is now expected to be conferenced with the House, which overwhelmingly passed its bill earlier this month. Now, that's interesting information in light of the breaking news earlier about Flynn, and then the retraction that ABC did later. I would take all of this with a grain of salt because you just never know when it's going to change. You just never know. And that's the Daily Caller information for the day. Link in the description box. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.